I have this long history of addiction, 3 decades. And the way I've always coped with things, barriers or obstacles or things that happened to me that didn't go my way, is I used. I used and I didn't have to feel anymore. I just was in that way for so long, and overcoming these little things and some of these bigger things step by step has really made me who I am. I've turned it into an opportunity to make me into a better person, or someone that can sort of trailblaze for people coming behind me and show them that, hey, when something like this, that you can do it. You can overcome it. It's, that you can do it. Okay, so my name's Steve Tate, and about 5 months ago, I was released from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And when they let me go, there was some barriers involved. There were some obstacles involved. I wasn't released with any identification. They didn't give me an ID. They didn't give me a birth certificate. I wasn't given a social security card. In fact, the only identification I had was actually my prison ID, which, though is a state-issued ID card, isn't accepted most places, particularly places like job. I couldn't use it to get a job. I couldn't use it. Employers wouldn't accept it. In fact, when they saw it, it actually became an extra barrier. It actually became a new obstacle. I had an opportunity to go to a halfway house the first day I was released, and then that fell through. So I was literally homeless on my second day, with no identification, no money, just the clothes that I had received from the prison. And being in such a low state with that, mentally and emotionally, I was at a very high risk to immediately go out and start using again, just to cope with that situation. So thankfully, because of the work that the people at the Wayback do, they're friends of mine now, and had I not, reached out to them, had they not walked with me step by step from, everything from job interviews to, getting the sober living home that I ended up going to, talking to them, sort of advocating for me. Man, they pleaded my cause for me, and nobody else was lining up to do that. So that and the office space that was provided, the access to computers, to printer, to ways to mail things out. They helped me pay for my social security card. They helped me pay for my birth certificate. They walked with me through all the struggles and all the obstacles. I was able to call them at any time, any hour of the day, and I knew that they would pick up if I had something I needed to talk about. And they helped to sort of instill this perspective to where I could somehow take the obstacles and turn them into situations where it was an opportunity to overcome something, an opportunity to overcome a barrier. Instead of letting that barrier or that obstacle limit me, I sort of turned the tables on it and began using them as ways that I built up my self-esteem with those very obstacles. So if they hadn't been there, if there hadn't been a way back, I think my story would have turned out much differently than it did. I'm sure of it.